Hiya, and welcome back to Where the Demon Lurks. The game that teaches us that we'll do whatever you say, Lucien. /JK, just kidding. Anyways, let's hop right in. Right, it's this one. Outside, the cool night breeze blows against the angel's fur. It's almost time for the meeting. He looks around to make sure he's alone before climbing onto the handrail of the balcony. His hair and ears float ever so slightly as though carried by an updraft. He steps forward but remains suspended in midair. A pair of white wings sprout out from his back. Looking upwards, he begins his ascent at a steady pace. No shit. It's not long before the angel picks up speed and zooms upward past the apartment roof and up towards the clouds. The sound of rushing wind fills his ears. Yet, before he could graze the clouds, the pull of gravity brings him back down. Lucien plummets to the earth. Fly, fly, fly! Lucien concentrates all his mental faculty into reactivating his powers. Just as the apartment roof comes into view, his wings reactivate again and he manages to halt his fall. He glides downward onto the apartment's tilted rooftop, nearly tripping as he lands. His breathing is erratic. What's going on with my powers? He looks at his trembling hands and clutches them tightly. The angel stands in silence for a minute before taking one long breath. This is just a little setback. He promptly tidies up his hair and straightens his shirt. Nothing I can't handle. The dog snaps his fingers and a bright yellow ring forms right above his head. Lucien drags the halo to his front. He taps the left side of the halo and it begins to ring. Okay, stay calm. Stay confident. Sound confident. And make a good impression. Just say hello with confidence. Hello, Lord Gary. The halo connects to the other person on the line. Go for Gary. Hang on, I gotta do this. Go for Gary. Yes, hello. Hi, Gary, Sir Lord. I have a report to make. Whoa. Cool your jets here. Who am I talking to? Lucien's mind goes blank for a second, but he manages to recompose himself. Right, sorry. It's me, Lucien. Lucien from the kitchen department? No, I'm Lucien. The angel you sent to find. The volume of Lucien's voice drops. Kobu. Oh, right. My bad, man. I've just been swamped with all these commissions to draw. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Is he doing what I think he's doing? Listen to this. One soul wants to experience what it's like to be a superhero that saves the city with the power of accounting. I was like, that's new, I guess. Never tried a superhero with powers in accounting before. I got it already, but the customer didn't like it. Gary laughs heartily and the halo jiggles in tandem. The soul gave some notes to change it, but whoops, I did it all in the same layer. Joke's on me, I guess. My lord, you do great work. They should appreciate the time and energy you put into each blueprint. Thanks, Lucien. Anyway, I'm going off topic, and what were we talking about? Right, is anyone around you? No, aside from the landlord, this apartment building only has Kobu here. This area is mostly deserted. Good, you found him. How is my favorite demon? He's heavier and highly uncooperative. Gary chuckles. At least he sounds like he's eating right. What else? It's just one problem after another, my lord. There's been an attack here by agents from the underworld. A mortal was taken as hostage and Kobu wants to save him. A mortal? What do you intend to do about that? Personally, I don't think it's a big deal. We'll save the mortal when we infiltrate the underworld. We go in, get the jump on Vendrake, and take him out. So, the mission comes first then. Always, my lord. Be discreet as best you can. It's not a matter of if Vendrake will find out that we're helping Kobu, but a matter of when. And when that happens, I have to disregard any connections you have with our company. I cannot risk another war between our two sides. I understand, my lord. Anything for up above? Thank you, Lucien. So,
What else can you tell me about the area you're in?
It's an anomaly of a town, my lord. There are ghosts and exorcists running about. Do you have any souls with information about this place? I'd like to be prepared.
Sure, let me look it up. What's the town's name?
Kibbleton.
I got it. I have to.
Lord Gary.
Sorry, I opened a funny video by mistake.
Mental note to self. Find out what video Gary finds funny so I can find more for him.
Interesting. It would seem that we don't have a single soul from that town.
What? What does that mean?
Oh, here's an interesting memo. Kibbleton is labeled as a red zone by the underworld.
And a red zone is.
I wish I could tell you, but my predecessor didn't write anything other than red zone. Angels and demons advised to stay away. No souls can be collected from these areas. Just get Kobu, see what he knows about it.
Right.
And what about the status of finding the underworld gate?
Good news on that part. The Halo detected the energy presence of a gate in this town, but haven't pinpointed its exact location.
A gate in a red zone area? Peculiar, don't you think?
I wouldn't know. Are the two related?
It's just... an underworld gate isn't something someone would build for the fun of it. Be careful. Have you noticed anything unusual happening for you?
Lucien shuffles his feet. He struggles to swallow as he finds the right words to say. I've maybe noticed my wings aren't working right just now.
Lucian.
It's fine. You have my word. I won't fail. Lucien bites his lower lip. The brief seconds of silence from Gary's side is tantamount to awaiting the guillotine from coming down.
Well, I trust you have it under control, and I hope to hear good news during our next call.
Lucien breathes a sigh of relief. Thank you, Lord Gary.
And Lucien.
Yes?
Good job!
Lucien's eyes beam brightly. His tail wags with so much energy it could practically fly off. Alright, no more material girl. Fuck off, material girl. The call ends and the halo disappears. Yes! His heart is jumping for joy, and so is he, bouncing from left to right. The only thing that occupies Lucien's thoughts is God's compliment. Whatever's making that noise! Shut up! Lucien stops his little happy ceremony and tries to recompose himself. I nearly forgot myself back there. Back to my patrols. Lucien floats back down and continues his duties for the rest of the night. See, this is all glorious. The next day, you awaken before your alarm rings. You sit up from the bed and begin your routine, like clockwork. The siblings who took over your shift would be expecting you soon. After getting dressed and downing a can of coffee, you head out. Good morning, Kobu. Up early and ready to face battle. Oh, hey, morning to you, too. I'm going to work. Excuse me? Work at the convenience store. It's almost my shift. I switched mine with Mike and Anna yesterday. Lucien frowns. I'm going to pretend that is your attempt at a light-hearted joke. We have more serious things to attend to. Crossing your arms, you glare at Lucien unamused. I know what we need to do, all right, but this is important too. If you want to keep using my unit as a base of operations, I need the cash to pay rent. Speaking of, you're paying half of it too. Me? Pay rent? That's what I said. I'm not letting an angel mooch off of me. You walk past Lucien. Wait! This is beautiful. It's giving Kid Icarus vibes. Please tell me you've played any of the Kid Icarus games. Please tell me that you did. Fucking Kid Icarus. Which one? Because there's 3 of them. There's Kid Icarus of Myths and Monsters, and Kid Icarus Uprising. You should play Uprising. It is hilarious. As the sun rises, the streetlights flicker down. Your walk is serenaded by the rumbling cars and creaky cyclists who pass you by. You watch your feet as you walk. There's nothing you want to think about. All there is just feet. Unexpectedly, Lucien is walking next to you, not even trying to hide his exasperated sighs. You know he's trying to get your attention. Dude, I don't know if sighing that much is good for you. Well, forgive me, but I can't help but be disinterested in your attempts at cosplaying a mortal. Oh, you know what cosplaying is? I've overheard what other souls have mentioned. It's like being blinded by a lie so great that every fiber of your body and mind believes that you're someone else. No, what? No! Absolutely not! No! Also, I am not cosplaying. This is my job. You of all people should know how important fulfilling your duties is. Then what duty are you fulfilling by hiding here all these years? You stop walking and glare at the angel. He looks back at you unfazed. You know what? I'd rather we talk about your plan to get us to the underworld. Lucien smirks and tilts his nose upwards. Finally, a better use of our time, so after talking to Gary last night. You talked to Gary? Why wasn't I involved? You both continue walking to the store. Gary is busy running up above. Besides, he wants to keep everyone safe. The less he is directly involved in what we're doing, the less we risk a war with Vendrake. You frown. Somehow the idea that your only ally in this whole soul business is avoiding you does not sit right. So, what did you guys think of? We're sticking to the original plan. We'll find an underworld gate and use it to get you home. An underworld gate? You know about it? You extend a downward open palm while rocking it slightly. Either way, I've detected the presence of one in this town. That's weird. Gary thought so too, but it doesn't change the fact that we need to find it. And I need your help to do that. After all, you've been around here long enough, that knowledge will finally be of some use. Well, then you'll have to wait till after my shift is over. What am I supposed to do until then? I don't know. I mean, you don't have to wait if you don't want to. Just go find the gate on your own first. And risk letting you get attacked? Not a chance. I'm staying close. Fine, then just search into the store area and we'll continue after work. I can't help for now. What about during lunchtime? My lunch is at 1 p.m. and that's like an hour long. I don't think we could find much in that time even if we tried. Lucien shakes his head. You sigh. It just seems like there's no pleasing this angel. Oh my god. 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 Cute idea. Cute, absolutely adorable idea. Kobu should hire Lucien. Kobu should hire Lucien, and they can have a sort of reverse Jay and Silent Bob situation. That would be adorable. No, they both work at the convenience store.
It's time to drink water. It's time to drink water. It's time to drink water.
I can only imagine.
It's time to drink water.
What Lucien would do in the event of a Karen. It would be glorious. It's like, oh my god. You sigh. It just seems like there's no pleasing this angel. Your mind snaps back and you remember that you have to handle the store all on your own. You rack your brain for a solution. Hang on, why not work at the store with me? That way you and I can keep the same schedule, plus I get someone to share the workload with me. Lucien scoffs. Now why would I want to do that? Even if I have to find work to pay your so-called rent. They are. That'd be even funnier. There should be better jobs out there for me. It's not that bad. I mean, sure, sometimes work can be tough. Like, I remember how some customers will ask for the craziest requests, like topping their bento boxes with candy before microwaving it. There's also having to get rid of the occasional drunk that wanders into the store during the night shift. They think they can sleep inside. And then there's the hours of heavy lifting and sorting with barely enough pay. But all that matters is you've got a friend along for the ride with you and the knowledge that you'll eat enough to survive another month. So how about it? The angel is walking off in the opposite direction. I'll see you at lunch. And so your shift begins. Upon entering the store, the two siblings rush over to ask if King is okay. You recall that you made up a story that King had to leave the state due to a family emergency, and that he would be uncontactable for a while. Mike and Dan are placated when you told them King was fine and that he would be back soon. An empty promise that you hope will come true. With King's absence, the three of you decided to put up a sign looking for a new recruit to help with the work. Until then, you have to work through your shift on your own. A task made harder with the recent addition of your tasks as manager. The brother reassures you that King's guide will get you through it. And if there are any emergencies, he's a phone call away. You It would only help with depositing the earnings of the day into the company bank account. You have no choice but to go along with the plan. Then the duo return home, leaving you in charge. You find King's guide lying on the counter. Caressing the cover, you feel the tough wrinkle of the paper King used to decorate it. You pick up the book and open up to the first page. There's a sticky note inside.
I believe in you.
King. Damn it, King. You feel tears building up, but you slap your cheeks to snap out of it. The time for crying will come later after King is saved. Throughout the first half of the day, you busily restock the shelves and learn to take inventory of what needs to be reordered. All the while, customers come and go, forcing you to juggle between stock take and service. Running yourself ragged, even your brief moments of peace are spent reading through the manual, unable to commit much to memory before your next interruption. Customer, hello, welcome to Sun... Oh.
Oh, please do go on. Don't let me stop you from doing your... job.
What's up, Lucian?
It's lunchtime. I'm here to report my findings.
It's that late already? I'm beat and hungry. Can we talk about it over lunch? Lucian raises an eyebrow.
More mortal customs. How fun.
Come on, I'm closing the store. After locking the store, you drag the reluctant angel to a nearby cafe. From the outside, the single-story cafe has a quaint rustic feel to it. Ta-da, 6-fan. Lucian looks at the shop's sign, then back at you, his face deadpan as ever. The moment you step into the cafe, the smell of potatoes frying from the kitchen stirs your appetite. A lady dressed in a bright red dress approaches with 2 menus in her hands.
Afternoon there.
The lady is instantly drawn towards your angelic companion. You feel deja vu from your time at the supermarket sale.
Did anyone tell you? You're like one of those magazine models. If you need work, I'm looking for an extra pair of pants to help me run the cafe.
No thank you, Mort. You elbow Lucian in the stomach. You're hiring? He'll love to. Maybe you can tell us more about it after lunch. She smiles warmly, and she doesn't seem to think too much about your reaction.
All right, right this way then, fellas.
The waitress escorts you both to a nearby booth seat. Soon.
You fellas want to look at the menu?
Oh, sure. She hands you each a menu before writing a notepad and pencil that were tucked away in her apron. I'll have lunch set A.
Fish and chips with a glass of apple soda. What about you, handsome?
That's okay. I'm not one for eating. She puts her hands on her hips.
You expect me to believe you can maintain that build and that shiny coat of yours by skipping meals?
I assure you, I'm built differently than the usual customers you get.
And I assure you, my chef Neil has never cooked up a bad meal. Order something. If you don't like it, your meal's on me.
Just do it, dude. You've got nothing to lose. Lucian sighs. Fine. Give me whatever it is he's having.
Got it.
Neil, give me 2 set A's.
You wait until the lady's out of earshot to continue talking. See, that wasn't so bad. Let's not forget you also got a job offer. Not that would do much good. Look around. This cafe would not survive through the year in this state. Glancing around, you notice there are only a handful of customers. It's an uneasy sight since it's peak lunch hour. We can worry about that later. You need the job, and a piece of advice. Cool it with the whole mortal thing. People will think you're weird if you refer to them as that. But that's what they are. Even so, people don't acknowledge that. Anyway, we're going off topic. About the underworld gate, there's still no signs of it during my short reconnaissance. No biggie, we'll go looking for it later. How? You hold off from finishing your sentence when you see the waitress returning with your drinks. Thanks. She smiles and heads back to the kitchen. Where were we? Right, how are you searching for this gate in the first place? I use this. He snaps his fingers and a halo appears above him. What? Lucien grabs a halo and shows it to you. This is my halo.
What are you doing? Put that away or people will see.
Try to keep your voice down while swatting at the air, signaling the angel to quickly put it aside. Oh, don't worry. Gary made sure this device is not visible to mortals. Plus, whenever it's active, it creates a special cone around that masks our conversations. What are they hearing then? I want to have a baby. Oh my god. I want to have a baby. That's great. Who's going to be the mother? You. Dios mío. That was beautiful.
beautiful. I have to save all that. I want to have a baby.
That's great. Who's going to be the mother?
You. Dios mio. Most normal drama series ever. It's canon. It's confirmed. Kobu impreg. It's canon. Just kidding. I don't know. Just turn it off. It'll just cause us more problems if we get ourselves in trouble over a misunderstanding. Alright, then we'll just have to be more careful, and you need to speak softer. He taps the halo to disable its filtering functions. Regardless, we can use the halo to find the gate later. It'll beep more frequently the closer we are to it. Sounds simple enough. Anything else? Yes. Lucien leans in close, staring you down intensely. I need to pick your brain on something. Okay, shoot. What do you know about this town? Pretty much the same as what they put in their travel brochures online. Kibbleton's a small town that's trying to revitalize itself so more people will come and stay here. That's all. There's nothing weird about this place. Well, there's that one cult and a gang running around the town, but other than that, I haven't noticed much. What about this town's status as a red zone? What about it? That just means demons aren't supposed to be here. This town's souls are unable to reach the underworld. And that would be because... I don't know, that's all I can remember for those boring old files. Kobu, I need more than that. Have you been to other red zones? Yeah, 2 others, a city and another countryside town. And did anything strike you as out of the ordinary? Not really. I think some mega corporation was in the city. I seem to recall almost everyone worked for them, and the countryside town was super traditional. They worshipped some kind of dragon god, which, I mean, that's nice and all, but the farm life was not for me. Lucien leans back in his seat and crosses his arms. What about you? Haven't you been in a red zone before? This is my first time. I've only been on Earth for a few months. The halo never took me to a red zone when it was pinpointing a location. Alright, then why exactly are you so worried about these red zones? It's just... I feel like my powers are diminished while I'm here. I cannot explain why. Are you joking? How are we going to defend ourselves from another freelancer attack? Don't worry about it. I can still take on any 2-bit demon that comes our way. You narrow your eyes. I can do it, alright. Rest assured, you have the finest angel on your side. You're not 100% confident in Lucien's words, but you keep that to yourself. Starting a quarrel over these feelings will get you nowhere. Reluctantly, you decide to worry about this when the time comes. Waitress interrupts both of you with your orders. A plate of 2 fish fillets coated with flour, fried to a beautiful golden brown. Accompanying the fish is a side of crispy shoestring fries on a bed of crisp green salad. The smell of food instantly eases the tension and your worries melt away. There's just something special about the food in this cafe that always makes you feel better. She also places 2 ramekins on the table, one of tartar sauce and the other mayonnaise. Eat up, boys! She smiles eagerly at Lucien. And if you like this, imagine getting free lunch every day just by being part of the team. Fascinating. But I assure you I won't be easily persuaded by some cooked fish. He cuts into the fish and takes a bite. Oh! Why did I choose to give him that voice? Oh! It's so creamy. His face contorts into a look of pure bliss, then horror when he realizes the sound he just made. That's just... He looks at you, but you're just enjoying the show. I know, but it was still fun. It's all for fun. The waitress giggles. The food was hot, that's all. Sure thing, golden boy. If you like that, you should try it with some sauce. She points to the ramekins in front of you both. A jolly melody starts playing from her apron. Oh, one sec. She pulls out her phone and you swear her face turns pale white. Sorry, I've got to take this. The waitress rushes off to the kitchen before you have the chance to thank her. You decide not to pay her sudden disappearance any heed. Lucien takes another cut from his fillet and observes the piece of fish in front of him. He dips it in the tartar and mayonnaise before eating. This time he maintains his cool composure, yet you hear the sound of Lucien's tail thrashing against the seat. You shake your head slightly and chow down with Lucien. Come the end of the meal, the waitress returns with the bill. So how was it, golden boy? It was acceptable.
Gah, the food was great as usual. Compliments to the chef.
I'm happy to hear that. I'll pass it on to him. Now, if you work here, our chef can whip you up something tasty anytime. I promise the pay is fair, too.
Why are you looking for a new hire, by the way? No offense, but things look a little,
Oh, I know. My little shop has been struggling against the older ones that have been here for years. So I've been thinking that my shop needs a gimmick, like, feel like royalty with a handsome staff at Six Fan.
handsome staff. I thought it's just you here.
Of course not. Neil's just as majestic looking as you are.
Hey, Neil, get out here.
A single black hand extends out from the kitchen window and waves a finger back at the waitress, telling her off.
Oh, he's shy, but a nice guy, so what do you say?
Lucian puts a finger to his chin as he thinks. He looks to you as though seeking your opinion on the matter. You give him a thumbs up. Fine, I guess it won't be too bad to work here. Mainly because it saves me the time I'll spend looking for some other menial job. Manners. Here's my resume. God damn it, Lucian. Lucian pulls out a stack of papers from his right pocket and hands it to the stunned waitress. This little magic trick nearly caused you to choke on a fry. She looks at the document in her hands with stunned silence.
What? You carry that around with you?
Where I come from, a chance for a promotion can come anytime, so you've got to be ready.
Oh, wow, you worked in a hotel before? That's perfect. I'll give the rest a look through, and I'll call you when it's time to start work.
Just like that, no interview. Naturally, my talents are undeniable.
Sure, let's go with that.
You sigh, relieved that at least rent will be easier for a bit, but you also wonder if Lucien will fit in well without you being there.
Oh, Lucian's going to get fired. First day, he's going to get fired.
Either way, as your lunchtime approaches its end, you return to the convenience store. Lucien hangs out in the back room until your shift is over. Come dusk, the search for the gate begins again. Sitting in an elevator, King sits bound and gagged from head to toe. The soreness around his butt is replaced with the dull but numbing pain from staying still. Each time the elevator changes direction, King lurches from side to side, the room itself seemingly chasing after some far-off destination. King rests his head against a cool metallic wall, too tired to continue his struggle against his bindings. His eyes rise upwards to the demon who has his back turned to him. The dark bindings along his mouth start to curve further around King's face with the tip resembling a dog's head, peeking at the corner of his eyes. Bro, he says you have a nice ass. Fortis looks over his shoulder and flashes a smile.
Thanks. Glad someone noticed the effort that went into training my glutes.
The demon flexes his bubbly posterior. King shakes his head frantically. He says to ungag him, "Not a chance. I have a hard enough time figuring out what to do with you without you yelling in my ears." Dude says he won't talk much. He just doesn't like me stuffing his nose. Hey, that's mean.
So as if I like being wrapped around you with your soft fleece.
Feels weird touching a mortal. Fortis turns around. Just ignore him. He can't do anything to you.
No.
Bro.
He says he's going to lick me. Ew.
Relax, Seth. No.
He's doing it, bro. I can feel his slimy tongue spreading his mortal saliva on me.
Fortis shakes his head and lets out a low growl. Fine. Return. The binding on King's mouth unravels and slithers up Fortis's arm.
That was so silly.
King's jaw drops as he watches the previously sentient shadow revert into a lifeless tattoo. Fortis points at the stunned alpaca. Now zip it or he's going back on you. Fortis points to his right forearm. Exhausted, King presses his face against the cool metal surface beside him. Huh. I wish I could see where we're going. The spot where his head meets the metal swirls open, granting him a window to the space outside. Peering through the port-like spot, he sees portraits floating around a murky abyss. Like the planets circling the sun, the paintings appear to move in the same manner, but what they are circling around remains to be seen. The alpaca shifts his attention back to the demon. Fortis keeps mumbling to himself. He intently peruses the elevator control panel, indecisively reaching out for buttons before changing his mind. Where are we going? This elevator ride feels like it's been going on for too long. Just give me a minute. I'm thinking where to put you. Maybe here? He presses a combination of buttons and the elevator comes to a halt. The door opens to a bathroom full of naked demons showering. Crap, sorry dudes. Fortis rapidly presses another button so the doors can close and begin moving again. The elevator jolts, bringing back King's motion sickness with it.
Did that guy have, like, 3...
Yes, and don't ask. Now, how about here? While Fortis inputs the next combination, King leans on this side and squints to see the buttons. To his dismay, the panel is decorated with symbols beyond his comprehension. It's not long before the elevator comes to a stop again. The door opens to a desert plain. There's only one thing that stands out, a silent mass of people huddled around something. The alpaca blinks. Before them are beings on their knees, looking up with reverence. The outline of their incorporeal bodies is barely maintained as the wisps of their essence flow back and forth like smoke in the wind. A mixture of shock and fascination dawns on King as he realizes what these ethereal beings are. Souls. There's something unnerving about the whole display. King gulps as his eyes slowly trail up to the very front of the crowd, a stone sculpture. The stone sculpture has his back turned against everyone, but something already feels amiss.
What's that sound?
King starts to hear a beating sound escalating with each passing second. The drumming sound that fills his ears is nothing other than the alpaca's own heartbeat. His eyes remain fixated to the statue, unable to look away not out of awe but of fear. A possibility so grim, so terrible may come to pass if he looks away. The fear grips King's entire core as tears start to stream down his eyes. Metal door slides shut, obscuring the statue entirely. King gasps and blinks rapidly over his dry eyes. Might be a bit too intense for this pipsqueak.
What room was that?
It's one of the mildest physical torture chambers, though it could work for you.
What was that thing? I couldn't stop looking at it.
Yes, that'd be the demon Arceus. You don't want to find out what happens when the souls stop looking at them.
What in the world made you think that would be a safe place for me?
I don't know, Arceus seems pretty popular with mortal souls. Your kind can't seem to take your eyes off of them.
I don't think those souls have a choice in the matter.
Fine, then I'm using plan B. Fortis presses another series of buttons and the elevator opens up to a plain-looking office space. Let's go. He pulls King up by his bindings and places the mortal on his shoulder.
Being carried by a big, strong man would be more fun if I wasn't being held against my will!
Fortis walks across the room and pulls out a pair of keys to open the pantry door. Once inside, he drops the alpaca on his butt and locks the room.
Ow!
Which furry character are you? The sticker collector, the dog brain, the vocal stimmer, the filthy furry, the stinky, or the eepy?
I don't know.
Ow, if you're trying to bruise my peaches, you did a good job.
Fortis extends his hand out and the bindings unravel. King gets up and scans the area. The place looks like an average-looking pantry room, down to the distinctive smell. Well, Vendrake said to stuff you in a pantry, so here you are. I'm not getting paid enough to be looking for rooms. If you need a toilet, it'll be the door next to the sink. Over there's a coffee machine. Fortis goes on and on, but King is lost in his thoughts. His eyes fall upon the key ring dangling out of the demon's jacket pocket. With that key, he could escape the pantry and make a run for the elevator. He could go home. He could warn Kobu that Vendrake's coming. The sound of a crimson portal ripping open in the middle of the room derails King's train of thought.
Wait, you're leaving?
Enjoy your afterlife. Fortis heads for the portal.
Wait!
What now?
I mean, what am I going to do about food?
Like I said, just eat whatever's in the fridge. King walks over and opens the fridge. He instantly reels back.
Is that moldy cheese? And oh my god, there's an eyeball in that container of leftovers. I can't eat these.
Fortis rolls his eyes. Come on, food is food. It's not like you're trying to build muscle or something. Ping pong ping.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
The cat general's voice comes clear through the PA system. Amare?
That sounds like the voice of that demon with all those arms. Why is he making an announcement here? Yeah, I see you guys on my monitor. Figured you'd bring him to the pantry.
Really? How'd you even know I bring him here?
Simple. I infer that you either take Vendrake's words literally, or you'd realize that there was no safer place for him but here.
Oh, really now? You sure you were that sure those were the only things I would have done? There's a silence that drags on for a few seconds before Amare responds.
Then I bugged the mortal when you were walking out with him.
Ha! Typical Amare. The small spider bot, no bigger than a grain of rice, leaps off King's shoulder unnoticed and crawls up the ceiling to sit on the PA speaker. It glows red.
Cameras are on. Hi, mortal!
Hi. King waves hesitantly in the direction of the PA system.
Anyway, the alpaca is right. We gotta fulfill his basic needs if we plan to send him back to Earth in one piece.
Then you do it if you're such an expert.
I'm already on it. Kobu previously wanted to acquire mortal snacks without going through the hassle of traveling to the mortal plane. So he requested that I build a processor that could churn out the things he wanted. I just need to make sure it's working right and check if it still has that bug whereby it explodes when coming in contact with water.
Ugh.
Right, and that means I need entertainment too.
You're a prisoner. What do you need entertainment for?
Well,
The alpaca puffs his chest and tries to look intimidating. Steps closer to the larger demon and pokes him in the chest. Well, wow, this is solid. King retracts his hand and tries to start over. Well, I'll go crazy if I just remain stuck in this room with nothing to do. Please give me something to read. Fortis huffs and growls.
Fine, then read this.
Grabs a nearby jar of coffee powder and shoves it towards the alpaca's snout. King slaps Fortis' hand away. Hello, honey. Reading the label off a jar of coffee powder isn't stimulating. But what was I expecting? You meatheads down here are all the same as the ones up on Earth. You're only all about the gains.
Excuse me, I happen to be very well read. I'm not the second strongest demon general just by getting by on my strength alone.
Number 2. I flush a number 2 down my toilet every morning, mister.
Ew. King and Fortis look sternly at the PA system.
Sorry, carry on.
Fortis' entire body tenses. As a result, his body heat skyrockets, making the alpaca take a few steps back in order to keep his fleece from catching fire.
Listen here. You are in no position to make demands. You are going to be a good little mortal and just sit here and take what I give you.
They both leer at each other, neither budging on their stands. If you're going to leave me to be bored out of my brains, I'll go on a hunger strike.
Oh yeah? Well, this meathead has created chasms with these arms. I'm sure I can open that pretty mouth of yours and make you eat.
Do it and I'll bite your finger.
As if you can hurt me, I might just like it.
Sound of
It's
crunching
time to
popcorn
drink water.
echoes through the room from the speaker system.
It's time to drink water.
Oh, whoops, forgot I had my mic on.
It's time to drink water.
This entire situation is beautiful.
It's time to drink water.
Fortis turns back to the alpaca. Wispy steam emanates from Fortis as the sweat dripping down the demon's fist evaporates from his intense body heat. He takes in one deep breath and his body temperature drops.
Ugh.
He closes his eyes for a while and opens them again. Sports magazine's okay for you?
Okay, but I'm going to need a box of tissues if you're going to make me read that.
What?
For the inspirational sports stories segments, you know, the parts where they talk about how they got into the sports and all that.
Right. Fortis shakes his head and leaves through the portal.
Boy, he's grumpy, huh?
King sighs loudly and places his hands on his hips. I'm sorry. Amari, was it?
Yep.
You sound like a nice demon. Can I have some privacy so I can rest?
Oh, don't worry. These recordings are merely for research purposes.
Come on, what if I need to do some private things?
I encourage that completely. Go for it. I want you to do whatever comes naturally to you.
Then I'll smash your bug.
Welcome me to try. It'll give me valuable data for the next model. While you do so, let me play some relaxing music to go with it. I'll be there soon with the food machine. Have fun.
Gentle music starts playing from the spider bot. I genuinely thought it was going to be death metal. King sighs, defeated. He walks over to a nearby chair and sits down. Things would be easier without a camera watching him, but his time in the convenience store has long taught him how to avoid such surveillance. Now, how do I steal the key from that walking bulldozer? Chapter 3, Identity. The evening sun paints the sky a warm orange hue. Though the peaceful atmosphere would be welcoming for anyone after a day of hard work, you still have things to do. Lucian leads you to the shopping district. At the entrance, he pulls out his halo and taps it twice on the top. A layer of static covers the halo, transforming it into a tablet. Neat feature. What's with the dog ears on the protectors, though? I just thought they were cute. The angel turns his attention back to the device and walks on. You raise an eyebrow as Lucien starts and stops walking sporadically. No, wait. He suddenly pivots and walks into a boutique. Lucien! You follow him inside, but being led around the shop. He walks straight through a rack of dresses that you have to hurriedly pull off of his head and on his way back out of the store. Lucien, where the heck are you going? I'm following the signal.
Keep up.
The pinging rises and falls with no discernible pattern, but the dog relentlessly follows its beck and call, leading him into yet another store. You let him enter on his own. Within 5 minutes, someone screams, followed by a loud slapping sound. Lucien rushes out of the store and briskly walks past you. He's covering his left cheek with one hand while his other hand keeps a steady grip on the halo, never taking his eyes off it. He mumbles something to himself before walking through a crowd, cutting off and bumping into anyone he crosses, despite their exasperated cries. You walk behind him with your head low. Sorry. Reaching out and seizing Lucien's wrist, you yank him to a halt. Dude, stop running around at random. You're bothering people. But the halo says the gate is somewhere here. Do you see a door moving around? It doesn't have to be a literal gate, it's just a name. The thing could be floating for all I know. There's clearly nothing here. Well, but the halo! It probably needs a good tap. Give it here. You grab the device and smack it against your thigh several times.
Hey!
Lucien quickly grabs the item back.
Stop that. That's not how you treat God's gift.
Dude, it's obviously not working.
No, God doesn't make mistakes. It found you, and it was working right before we got into this part of town. Just let me figure out the pattern here. The gate is definitely here. I just need to know how it's moving.
You let out a long sigh. No, I'm not doing this. I'll go search on my own.
Don't go too far.
He walks off, leaving you stranded in the middle of the street. Pursing your lips, you rack your brain wondering what to do next. Where to start? A gate that can break through the realm of the living. That would have taken up tons of soul energy, not to mention the ritual would have required a lot of space. I want to find that. What can I do? I've got nothing. You're instantly tantalized by the urge to find a bench and take a break.
No, stop being such a me. Think. King needs help. What do you do in this situation?
He'd probably ask around. Yeah, probably somebody who looks like they know a lot, too. Someone who must have seen some of that construction work. I need someone who would be here most of the time. Looking around, your gaze falls upon a lonely street-side vendor. Half of a roasted chicken hangs behind the food display case as though proudly announcing to the world, "Look at how good my food is. Get it while it lasts." It's the only stall still open. The rest had either closed for the day or were never in business to begin with. Considering you have nothing to lose, you head over to the chicken rice stall in question. A slender man wearing an apron stained with brown sauce stands up from his seat. He smiles warmly at you.
Hi there, want some chicken rice? I've got some juicy roasted chicken.
I'll take two, both breasts.
I've got some roasted pork for another $3.
He pulls up a slab of crispy pork from a compartment behind his stall. There's not much left, but the bright orange crust from roasting the pork skin spurs your appetite. Just chicken is $5, right? I think no. The vendor nods and starts preparing the dish. Business looks good.
Of course, my chicken rice is the best in town. I've been selling it for a decade. Trust me, try elsewhere all you like, but you'll love mine so much you'll be back in no time.
What time do you usually start selling?
I'm here from breakfast to dusk.
Hey, then you must have seen a boatload of interesting things going around here. My friend and I are actually looking into supernatural spots in the town.
Ah, you one of them tube people?
Not really. My friend just likes to hear about mysteries and creepy stories.
Why don't you take them to the old Kibbleton Hotel by the hillside? People are disappearing all the time over there.
Yeah, we'll check that out later, but what about here? Come on, you must know something interesting about this part of town.
Maybe or maybe not. I've got a lot of chicken and pork to sell. Perhaps if I had less on my plate, I could recall better.
His eyes dart towards the pork and back at you. Rolling your eyes, you pull out your wallet. You know what? I think I will take that roasted pork with my chicken.
2 servings of roasted pork coming right up.
So
you see that street over there?
He points down the road to his left, leading beyond several rows of closed shop lots. Yeah, what about it?
That's Dober Walk 1. We are on Dober Walk 2. All the businesses that used to be on Dober Walk 1 either moved here or closed down permanently.
So it's a bad business location?
Yeah, it probably has some shitty feng shui. There's some rumors that all the bad businesses started with the death of the arcade owner who owed money to the local gang. Since then, those who walk that street sometimes hear a painful scream come from the arcade, or sickeningly overpowering feeling of being watched by hundreds of eyes. What? I've never heard of that one. It's bad for business to talk about it. People who know someone was murdered instinctively wonder if they will be next. That's the main reason we all shifted our premises here. Start clean.
How real exactly are these rumors?
Personally, I believe it. I walked that street a while back. I swear, I heard my...
The man trails off. You're curious, but you decide not to press it. His hand trembles as he closes the lid on the packed food. He fumbles with the plastic forks and spoons as he bundles it and your takeaway together with a rubber band. He hands you the food in a bright purple plastic bag, handing him money in return. After paying for the meal, you store it inside your backpack. The vendor thanks you for your patronage and begins to close the stall. Wonder about the new information as you walk over to find the stray angel. Lucian!
What is it, Kobu?
Well, any luck?
Why, yes, I've managed to decipher the movement of the gate. Look.
Lucian shows you the tracking tool. Radar display shows a dot moving across the street before bumping on the edge of the display and moving in a perpendicular direction. Are you showing me your screensaver?
I know what it looks like, but I'm confident we could catch that gate if we find the boundaries that cause the gate to bounce around.
Or we could check out this lead I got instead.
What lead?
The chicken rice vendor I talked to mentioned a former arcade where someone died. Since then, no one goes to that area. Sounds like a perfect place to build a gate. Lucian taps his mouth with his forefinger. He gazes far in the direction of the street you mentioned, then back at his tablet.
No, we need to stick to this. This is Lord Gary's plan, and he knows what's best.
Come on, we're wasting daylight chasing a screensaver.
Lord Gary is never wrong. He made the perfect device for this task already.
Well, I'm going with or without you then. Take several steps in the direction of the haunted street before turning back to face Lucian. Here I go. All alone. If this is real and I die, it's on you.
Fine, I'm coming.
Fucking love this. The streets of Dober Walk 1 bear the scars of a place long forgotten. Weeds have taken root in the cracked walkways. The road is now a milky gray. No one has bothered to retar it. Lucien, though by her side, would keep darting his head back to where you both came from. Would you relax? If I'm wrong about this, we can go chase that bouncing gate whenever. There's no guarantee it will still be there. If the gate can move, anything is possible. It was a handful getting this far. Your doubts resurface, but you persist on forward until you reach the arcade. A 2-story structure with strips of white paint that is peeled off over time dangles delicately. They shiver against the gentle breeze. The metal rafters have been pulled down on the main entrance. A splattered smear of red paint lies faded upon the metal surface. What happened to this place, and what's with the slapdash paint job? It's not a paint job, it's a warning gangs use. They toss red paint on someone's property as a sign they need to pay up or else. What disgusting mortal custom. It's just how it done. You borrow money from the wrong people, then there's a price to pay. Money, the greed of mortals, sits wrongly with me. Is there a whole beef with their kind? They love money too much? It's one on a very long list. Look, you don't know what it's like having to attend to their every need in heaven. Despite your judgment in the underworld, the souls up there retain much of their personalities. And that shows in the fantasies that they ask Lord Gary to draw up. I hate seeing Lord Gary working himself to the bone for them when in life, they rather give their soul to money. Cheer up, not everyone is like that. Your optimism, very much like this plan, is not very inspiring. There's still no sign of the gate. Shh, listen. Ears perk up to the sound of a muffled scream. Did you hear that? Lucien raises his ear and looks about. His eyes widen. It's faint, almost ghost-like. Yeah, it's coming from inside the arcade. Help me find a way in. You circle the side of the arcade and find a side door with a lone window covered in yellow newspapers. Grab the door handle and give it a good twist, but it won't open. Damn, it's locked. You wouldn't happen to know how to pick a lock, would you? Lucien shakes his head. Well, how do you propose we go in?
Let me help!
The both of you scream at the top of your lungs. Lucien grabs you by your arm and kicks the door where Toast's head popped out of. The lock breaks with a loud crack and the door swings open.
Dude!
It's not my fault, he scared me. Toast snorts with laughter.
Oh my god, I was going to offer to unlock it from the inside, but that was way more fun.
Lucien and you throw dirty looks at the ghost. The angel lets go of you and instantly pulls out a feather.
Let me kill him.
No, don't. Toast, you better have a good explanation for why you're here.
Not much to explain. I was looking for you, but I saw you hanging around with...
He points at Lucien without really acknowledging him.
So I figured if he was going to give you a hard time, it'd be better if I stuck around to bail you out if he got you in trouble. Me? Hello, I do not get in trouble. Sure you don't.
Toast, we're doing something important here. You don't want to get involved unless you want to go back to the underworld.
What if you're doing something dangerous and you're going to need me?
Toast.
Come on, you two don't look like you know a thing about breaking in. At least let me be the lookout.
I don't trust him. Your hunch tells you to place some trust in him. Despite being a condemned soul, the hyena hasn't done anything suspicious after how you unintentionally helped him out back then. We don't have time to debate this. His idea isn't that bad. Let's just let him keep an eye out for us.
Fine, but I'm keeping an eye on you,
Ghost.
Beaming, Toast floats up to the roof.
We better work fast.
You immediately spot numerous footprints on the dusty floor when entering. You give your eyes some time to adjust to the dark. The only light is from the doorway you entered from, and it's rapidly fading as dusk approaches. Take out your phone and turn on the flashlight. A soft thud followed by a click of a tongue alerts you. Turn your flashlight to the source, but all you find is Lucien rubbing his snout.
Ugh, this place is filthy.
The arcade had seen better days. A thick layer of dust coats almost everything. Numerous arcade cabinets are lined up in aisles full of twists and turns like a maze. He pulls out the halo again, but it does not make a sound. He raises an eyebrow at you, but you just wave him off. These footprints lead to behind the counter. Let's see what we can find. You both approach the counter. It too is blanketed in dust. Behind that, there's a cabinet with many compartments gathering cobwebs. You imagine it used to be filled with prizes to be won. Above the cabinet is an old notice board filled with past years of gaming tournament ads. Without hesitation, you crouch beneath the table looking for some sign of the gate. A button, a switch, anything. Nothing down here. Help me search the cabinet. You and Lucien heave the cabinet away from the wall but find nothing behind or below it. You scratch your mane. Nothing. Damn it. Lucien pushes the cabinet back into position before walking over to the notice board. Alright, let's get out of here. Lucien, hold on. The dog stares at the notice board. Do you see something? His nose twitches as he leans towards it.
I smell a spell.
You sniff the air but can't catch a whiff of anything. Taking down the board, he sets it on top of the counter.
There's a spell here somewhere. Help me look.
Okay. Air guitar competition, anime cosplay competition. Yeah, it's just a bunch of posters.
No, I can feel it. They're hiding the incantation somewhere.
If I wanted to hide a spell, I don't think I would hide it in plain sight. Right, let me just. He conjures a feather and waves it around the posters. The ink from the printed text begins to liquefy and slither towards one another. Once congealed, gooey tendrils start to emerge and link up with their neighbors. Their gooey black tendrils connect and form a magic circle. Whoa, these markings! I've never seen them before. What do we do now? Maybe. He picks up the board and puts it back where it hung, like a key sliding into the lock. A chime rings out from the magic circle. Glowing white cracks form across the entire wall on the shelf in front. It shatters and the space is replaced with rows of yellowed bones and skulls arranged in the shape of a gate. This is it! Lucian pulls out his device and announces with a cool robotic tone,
You have arrived at your searched item.
This is it. Where did they get all these bones from? They're too big to be animal bones. It doesn't matter, let's open it. The angel pushes against the gate but does not budge. It's locked. Look, there are 3 keyholes here. Darn it, I should have known it wouldn't be so easy. Guys! Toast? I saw 2 dudes coming over here. Hurry! Shit, turn the circle off. Lucian waves a feather over the board and the magic circle undoes itself. The gate reverts back to into an ordinary wall. Outside, you can hear footsteps approaching. Frantically, you wave to Lucien and Toast to get down. The ghost floats over and the 3 of you hide behind the counter. You share worried glances at one another and Lucien puts a finger to his lips. What the hell happened here? Shit, man, we shouldn't have gone for that cup of coffee. How was I supposed to know someone was going to try to break in today? Think it could have been a bunch of teens just like the other night? How would I know? I wasn't there. Do we have to report this to someone? Hear their footsteps entering the premises. Now let's just check the place to be sure and fix the door. Last time those dumb teens were smoking behind the arcade cabinets. We need to get out of here. Lucien taps you on the shoulder to get your attention. He points to himself, then the door, then to you, and he gestures to run. You understand that he aims to be a distraction. Hey, smell that? Smells like a soul. The 2 of you swing your heads to Toast, but he looks just as dumbfounded as you are. Man, that's all you think about. We just got paid last week. Can you blame me? We don't get paid enough. Damn right about that. This side's clear. Let's check the counter. Toast whispers to you both. I'll distract them. You guys go run. No, let me. I can do it with my feathers. You're given a sliver of time to decide. Toast's sudden volunteering throws you off, but he has a determined look in his eyes. He's been reliable so far, but one of those goons said they could smell a soul. A normal person wouldn't know that. Your gaze falls on Lucien. Perhaps his plan would be the safest, but if he fails, King is as good as dead. You have the lease to lose here. Perhaps you're the best option. Oh, shit. So either Lucien or Toast. Yeah, Lucien. Do it. Lucien conjures a feather and tosses it onto the floor. It bounces back up like it's made of rubber. The feather ricochets off the cabinet, pulling the attention of the guards. Bounces again and again, slamming against the door and crashing into some rubbish bins outside. They're making a run for it! After them! As her footsteps fade off into the distance, you audibly gasp. We're not in the clear yet. Let's head back to the apartment. You guys go. I'll make sure they don't catch up with you. Wait, that's dangerous. That'll be fun. I'm just making sure you guys get out of here safely. Lucien nods. We need to go. Find us when you're in the clear. The ghost floats upwards and heads in the direction of the guards. You and Lucien rush off the other way and hurry to your apartment. Slow down. I think we're in the clear. The apartment is in sight, merely a 5-minute walk away. You stop to catch your breath. Lucien, on the other hand, keeps a close watch of your surroundings. You okay? I'm fine. Now let's keep walking. We're not safe until we're in your apartment. Both continue heading towards your place. I hope Toast will be safe. Perhaps. Well, he has avoided capture by my hands. I would think he can avoid a few regular hooligans. There's nothing regular about those guys. Remember what they said? Yes, they were able to detect souls. Technically, demons and angels feed off soul energy. Could they be one of us? No, I doubt it. The magic used to hide the gate didn't incorporate any markings of our kind. You both reach the apartment entrance and climb the steps. Well, did you see who they were? I didn't. I was too busy trying to think of a way to get us out safely. Think we can get back to the gate later? Yes, no, maybe, I don't know. He speaks at a louder volume than he usually does. Your stomach twists at the thought that you've upset him somehow. Hey, did I do something wrong? No, please, I just need to think. You arrive at the front of your unit door. I'll stay watch in case of any trouble. Wait, what about dinner? I got your portion too. Pull out the takeaway containers from your bag. You can have it. I'm not in the mood. This guy. However, you keep your thoughts to yourself and enter your home. We're gonna leave off here tonight. Yep. Stay safe, have a good night, and I will see you all tomorrow.